All right, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Broken Bear Conversations. I'm Seiko.
I'm Josh.
Yep, and before we get started, find us everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, Broken Bear Conversations. Check us out, please. And today we're going to be talking about kind of a big subject. It's about if you guys are into rap, hip-hop, music. There's a big artist that was, he was shot and killed 5 years ago. His name is XXXTENTACION. I was a fan of him. I liked his music a lot. But he was kind of controversial, if you know about his like court cases and everything he's done and stuff like that. But he also was really, really young and stuff too at the same time. He died at what age?
20, man.
20?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, so he died pretty young.
Crazy.
But recently, the people that robbed and killed him, they all were found guilty in jail. So he got justice in the end. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy situation that happened. Do you want to explain what happened 5 years ago?
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot led up to it, but basically these dudes, they end up catching wind that he's going to be purchasing a motorcycle, like spotting him out there, and they wanted to verify. And I think they already had the intent to rob anyway. They were kind of planning something with anybody. It sounded like they were kind of discussing it based on the stuff I saw in the court case. But no, they ended up catching wind that he was going there. I'm not really sure how that kind of happened, if they just happened to see it. It didn't really make sense, like how, I guess you're on social media, maybe that happens, I don't know. But so once they found that out, they ended up actually pulling in right after he pulled in there, and they verified it was his car. And they said once they verified, two of them went in and they saw him there. And then once they verified it was that, they ended up buying some like masks and stuff while they were there, got back in the car, parked a little further away, and then they started getting ready. And then once they saw him pull out, that's when they pulled up. And I don't think the intent originally was to kill him. I think it's just like fight or flight moment. You react, you do, and yeah, it's crazy. And then of course they ended up getting caught. They posted photos of that shit. They were like posted with holding the money, showing it like literally like an hour like after it happened. There was like stuff with their messages to some of their loved ones, like hey, it's gonna be okay, something like that.
Okay, that's crazy.
But over 50,000. That's what blows my mind. It's 50,000.
That's how much money.
That's how much money. That's all they took. Like they took the Louis bag and they killed them. It was just 50,000. I'm like, that money, willing to risk something like that so quick, so publicly, and then also gonna post photos about it. I'm like, it's $50,000.
I mean, I feel like people have done the same for a lot less money.
I'm sure.
So 50,000, I think it's still a good.
But it's just
amount.
like. That's like, could you imagine doing something right now like 50,000? Would that make you want to even do something like that?
No. I would never do anything for 50,000.
Yeah.
Everybody else got different.
They do
different bars, But yeah, I mean, just to re-summarize what happened. X was a big rapper, hella successful, and this was like at his height of his career.
Motorcycle, forgot. He's out there shopping for a motorcycle.
Yeah. So there was one day where he went to go shop for a motorcycle. I don't know where it was, maybe California or something like that.
Yeah, it was like a RVVA or something like that, some kind of like dealership out there in California.
Yeah, and while he was there shopping for a motorcycle, there's even security cam footage of him looking at the motorcycle, talking with the dealership guy, and as he's looking at it, these two men pass by him, and he like makes eye contact with them real quick, and just acknowledges them, and then after that, they just do their own thing and he does his own thing. He just just acknowledges people that came into the room. That's pretty normal, No,
man, if I start feeling a vibe, that's when there's something in that.
I wouldn't doubt if he felt a vibe too, because he acknowledged them.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying. But after he acknowledged them, again, nothing happened. They just went about their way. He would continue with his shopping, and then not until later, after he got out the shop, I don't know if he bought the motorcycle or not, but he went back into his car, and while he was in his car, then that's when the guys pulled up. And they pulled up to his driver's side window, and they immediately tried to grab something like that, and then they shot him.
Yeah, like as soon as he pulled out of the thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then when they shot him, they took what they could, they ran away, and then he was just there in the car. And it was also kind of crazy, and kind of shows you what type of time we're living in, because when X was in his car dead, bleeding and stuff, everyone nearby immediately swarmed the car and started recording him.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So like after he died, they knew that and he was already still dead in the car before even the police showed up and stuff.
I mean, he didn't come back to life.
I know. I meant like they knew he. So they're already there on the scene. Oh shit! I didn't know that at all.
Yeah. So when he was shot, obviously people are gonna hear gunshots, so people started running towards the car. And when they saw him in the car bleeding, they just started recording him. I'm sure. I wouldn't doubt it if some people call police.
No, but I know that. But my thing is like, how did they really know like he was there? Like I get like you could follow that quick. Is it just that planning? It happened so fast. I'm like, to me, just to do shit that quick, it kind of blows my mind.
Well, a lot of people nowadays post a lot on social media, so maybe he was posting on his Instagram story or something that that was there. I mean, I'm sure that people are aware when big celebrities come into their city. So if he came into California, I'm sure he's already on the radar of people. And if he's walking around with face tats, he's very distinguishable. I'm sure word's gonna get around because that's what happened to another rapper named PNB Rock in California. He was just chilling with his girlfriend at a chicken spot, and while he was there, someone came up on him and shot and killed him and took his chain.
See, some of that like. So I had some like conversations with a cat about something like that because I was curious. He's like, I would be scared, anything like that. And he ended up saying, well, what's love is you cultivate what's around you, like what your energy is. And you look at, XXX's energy, there was a lot of violence in it, it's understandable. Like he kind of even kind of predicted his own death. He said that's how he's going to die because it comes back. I mean, I am in agreement with that. And if you look at people, the stuff you kind of cultivate can happen, but there are kind of things where people just will see it and just do, like monkey see, monkey do. They'll just, that they can only see what right in front of them. But it kind of made like feel like him just, I don't know why he didn't have a security team. I was like, I don't get why he didn't have a security team. Like if I was anything like him, like you had obviously the money to do that. Would you not be rolling with the security team 24/7?
I think after that happened and a lot of other rappers passed away, I think now people have security. Okay. But
back
if
then it wasn't really rolling like that.
If you're a rapper and you're in that type of world, you kind of have this thing about you where you're very, I don't know how to say it exactly, but you're a tough person. And if you're in the street world, I would assume that you have this ego to you that you like, no one's gonna touch me. That's how it is.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. But damn, that's why you gotta watch out for that ego.
Yeah, but then now people are like, okay, come on, let's not be too cool for security. Now people are like, okay, let's be safe. You're a walking target. These people are worth millions.
This might be a slight sidetrack.
Okay.
Because I just know I heard like Barack Obama, when he became president, he shot from this dude. But they do make bulletproof clothing. I don't know if you ever heard about that or seen anything on that.
I mean, I know they have Kevlar, so I'm.
Isn't that where like that? It's more. It looks like proper clothes.
No,
it looks like kind of like what you're wearing.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying if there's Kevlar, I wouldn't be surprised if.
Yeah, I know he was shot in the neck, but it's like I feel like. If you have a certain amount of money, like, man, that's all I invest in. If I could make clothes like that 100%, I'd be wearing turtlenecks, whatever you take, just why not? You live in a world where anything can happen. You might get in a car accident, thing might go through you, but if you have like some kind of at least Kevlar, it might prevent something. Yeah. But that's just something I always think about. But anyway, no, let's go back. It's like, I just know if how I would want to dress, just at least something, a cardigan. Let me have a Kevlar cardigan.
No, I know what you mean, but again, you gotta get into the mindset that, not everyone's you. People grow up differently. If they grow up in a world where they have to be the toughest person on the street, they're going to have this ego to them or this way about them where they're like, no one could touch me. And if anything, they want to attract trouble because sometimes people wear a bunch of jewelry on purpose because they want someone to test them. That's how they operate.
I didn't know that would be. That's why. Is that why? Okay, that's.
Well, I'm not saying everyone.
That might be, but
I'm not saying.
No, that might be a mindset.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I get that.
Because that's what rappers talk about in their lyrics. They like, I'm wearing this $100,000 chain. No one's gonna touch me.
I mean, what's his face? Floyd Mayweather walking around with $1 million. He just walked around with $1 million in a backpack.
Yeah. But he's also smart because when he walks around, he has like 20 security guards.
I know he has like. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I was like, may hire ninjas, man. Just like have a crew, but just like make them be hidden. They're just casual people walking around. No one knows about it. It used to look hard visually.
I mean, I think that's like some Jay-Z type stuff. Because Jay-Z was riding around the city, and I wouldn't doubt if he had like snipers in all the roofs
watching
him.
Yeah, dude, man. If you got the money,
he's like presidential. Rich, So I'm sure he can afford to have security on all the rooftops,
like helicopters.
Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, again, X. Yeah. He's 20.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, that's
You can't tell me that if you
No.
were 20 and you had made that much money,
No.
you would be thinking smart. You
No.
know, if you're 20 and you made that much money and you had that much success, you would walk around like you own the world.
Well-
No one's gonna do nothing to you.
I wrote down like he at least like embraced who he was, which is that's a hard thing to do because good or bad, you're embracing all that stuff, and the person you're gonna be is probably not gonna be the best person because if you haven't mastered yourself, it's just gonna be that rawness, and obviously you can tell what happens. That rawness, it's unfiltered, it's bad, it's dangerous. But
What do you mean embrace yourself?
Like-
and what's this rawness?
so that's the thing that is we in society you can't. We're not taught. We were taught to always mask, and we just that's a part of the world. We can't ever fully be ourselves to really function. Usually we're not ourselves till we're alone. That's our true selves. And I've always had a belief. It's like this Batman quote. It's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. So it's like your actions, whatever you're doing. So that means if you and I have my own past. I'm like I would be afraid if I ever get blown up like a level because you know shit I have that might creep back up eventually, and that's what sucks. It's like I have to be making more for all that shit too, and it's if you're cultivating that stuff or you're just being open, I mean, it's like you don't give a shit. Like someone makes you angry, you're gonna let them know. You're not gonna hold that back and deal with it later. Or you're just gonna react. See, you don't have control of yourself. And it looks like he slowly started finding that control. And it's weird is I started dealing with this shit too in my life. I let go and I was choosing to be myself. Like, God damn, that's not a good thing to be either.
So are you talking about his growth as a person?
As a growth of this person,
He
you see
went
it.
from
Well, he looked like he had a lot of abuse. Obviously,
Yeah.
he saw a lot in his childhood. Seeing things, you know, it's like the same thing monkey see, monkey do. You see a lot of this violence. It's kind of how you learn how to react and deal with things. And
so how did he become as a person?
After obviously he started slowly owning up with his stuff. I know he had some domestic abuse charges with his girlfriend. All that stuff is come back out.
You know about all the fights he gets into.
All the fights he got into that she was younger. Like,
yeah.
I get it. It's when you have rage in you, it's the only outlet that it feels good to get that out. But that's where you're like, that's where he embraced that part of himself.
Yeah.
Which it's not good, but you kind of once you embrace it, then you have it, and then you can learn how to let go of it.
Yeah, he
Slowly.
definitely was on the path of becoming a better person. Because like you said, he didn't have a good childhood.
No.
He grew up with only one parent. Actually, he grew up with his grandma because his mom was a stripper or something like that, and his dad wasn't really in his life. So he grew up with his grandma in a very not the best home, got into a lot of trouble, got into a lot of fights. He even went to jail too.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the story when he was in jail and he beat up this one dude that was gay?
I did not hear about that story.
Yeah, he kind of bragged about it.
Well, I know he beat this dude, but I didn't know it was because he's gay. Like I heard it was beat this dude up because it was like the record guy or that porn dude's company or something like that.
You might be talking about a different situation,
Maybe, yeah.
but when he was in jail, his cellmate was gay and was
That's
looking at him
yeah.
in a certain way, and he didn't like that, so he beat him up because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
So that was part of his past too. He didn't like gay.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, man, I had issues like that too. But
Okay.
I've grown from that. I'm talking about younger. I was like 7, 8,
Yeah.
doing shit like that
Yeah.
because I had a dad tell me like, if anyone then becomes gay, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like dealing with that stuff. You see what and you repeat, and who knows what he probably dealt with. It sounded like a lot, So,
Well, there's
it's not.
some people. So there's some people are really homophobic to this day.
And that shocks me,
Yeah.
considering how open and stuff the world is now, and how visible the world is, how we can see. I get when a long time ago when people didn't have much of a view, you didn't have much to look at, representation of anything. Nowadays, this world, there's a lot of representation. You will find people that have similar stories and similar journeys.
Yeah.
And that blows my mind that people are still holding on to these shitty lives. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, but again, he beat up someone because he was gay.
Yeah, and I mean, like, so I don't know if people know, I'm just learning shit about him. Like,
Yeah.
I recently started listening to him, and I've been learning new things, and I see, it's just like at 20, I know people have shit, things happen. I get that.
Yeah.
And it sucks that he wasn't able to grow and understand and come to why are you so angry at somebody just for them looking.
Yeah.
I don't like being looked at either, by anybody.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. Don't give you right to attack somebody and beat
No,
the fuck out
yeah,
of them.
yeah. Like
So-
so That guy was very angry.
Yeah,
even
no,
his early
100%.
music was really angry too. Like Look at Me was very angry. Take a Step Back was really angry. A lot of his stuff was really angry, and then a lot of it was like he just recorded it on this app called Audacity, which is very it's a free program. And he just had this shitty mic, and all of his stuff sounded shitty. But that was like kind of his sound.
Yeah, I heard his friends talking about that. Yeah, it's like blown out, but it worked.
But he made it work.
Yeah.
You know? So all of his stuff is really shitty and aggressive. But then eventually, when he released his first album, 17, it was a lot more sad and vulnerable, like you said. He was more so being himself. And then that's when you could see he was kind of like becoming a better person and stuff like that. And he started this.
Feel, deal, heal, man. That's literally a quote people should understand.
What does that mean?
No, just what you're talking about, how he's doing with that. He learned how to feel his feelings, and then he learned how to deal with it, and then you can heal. Mm-hmm. You have to learn how to feel it so you can deal with it. And once you learn how to deal with it, then you can truly heal and grow. So, no, it looks like he was already on that path.
Yeah. And while he was on that path, that's when he got murdered. And that 5 years ago now, 2018, June. Yeah, it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now... and even in the documentary, you could like what you were talking about, how he had some domestic violence problems.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like, recently when all his murderers were found guilty, the mother of his child. Did you know he had a kid?
I remember reading that. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a kid.
I didn't know if it was with who it was with.
It was with that person that was part of the domestic violence case. But she even posted saying that. Thank God now he can be put to rest and that they're guilty. So it seems like even she has forgiven him.
Oh, yeah. No,
it seems like it's all good now,
She seemed like she's come to terms with...
Yeah.
I mean, there's still no excuse for that. Like, I grew up around that, so people I've known grew up around that. It shouldn't be a routine, but there are people that's their lives. And seeing that, it kind of... It's a pattern that repeats. It's what people... Until you learn how to break that pattern, it's just going to repeat. And it seems like... how it's a culture thing, and for some people, I mean, in my way, is a culture thing. So it's unfortunate that's a thing like that. But I wish he had more time to work through shit. It's unfortunate. 20-year-old, god damn, that just blows my mind.
That's really young.
If I died at 20, I haven't done shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who my soul. It's ripped apart. It's shattered.
I know.
Like I haven't had time to mend anything by then.
And for him, 20, he already accomplished a lot. Imagine how much more he could have done.
No, that's what I mean. Like already being that much. Like I get it's a lot of a journey for anybody to go through that age and start coming to terms with that shit. And then you could have done a lot more. And I feel like he could have helped people. I know some people identify with his music. And it helps them like come to terms with their own trauma. They're like, oh shit, hey, you understand. And maybe I don't have to in my life because I want to. Maybe there's hope for me. So that if people realize that, like I think he was even saying that if there's like a million people that have listened to it and they've experienced something or grown, like I've done something. And that's what art should do. Art needs to it moves a change in you, and that's despite what you have done. But if you learn from your shit, you can grow, and he is obviously showing it. It's through his music. You can hear it. You can see the journey. That's what's crazy. You can literally see his journey in his music.
Yeah, it went from aggressive to he had an evolution.
Yeah, and that's beautiful to see. That people should. I don't know if people. I'm sure they realize that, but that's a beautiful thing. Like that's cool to capture that. We live in a new world where where people are capturing all that journey of their life.
Yeah. Like you said, he became very more vulnerable in his music. He went from aggressive to actually talking about his feelings and stuff.
Yeah. And
when he released his album 17, he got a lot of great co-signs. Like for example, Kendrick Lamar, who's a huge rapper, co-signed that album and said, "Wow, listen to this. Something along the lines of, if you want to feel something, listen to this." Yeah. He's like, this is real emotion. Yeah. Shit like that.
And I like how he's telling people you have an open mind. I love how he's just have that. It's hard to, especially if you're not used to a certain type of style. It's like just listening to something new, experiencing it, just understand what it is for what it is, and then take it or leave it. That's what it is, and maybe come back to it. You might like it more. Yeah. Who knows? But it's I respect anybody having that honesty, but then look at themselves like that and try to have something come out.
You like his music?
Stuff I heard so far, there's like especially like Moonlight. I really like. I like how he's going with that. I love the Look at Me, of course. That one I can identify some of the aggression. I feel like some of the energy in it, and I like okay, yeah, I get it. I feel that. I can understand it. But I'd like more the direction he was going, especially his last album. It is unfortunate, like I said, he didn't have enough time, and I feel like that's a lot of artists and their stories. They never have enough time.
Yeah, and.
It's that life when you live in this kid. I feel like it just when you start tapping into that creative world, it's chaos.
Yeah,
and it will consume you. You know, it's hard to develop anything and kind of life out of that.
What do you mean by chaos?
It's because the only way I think people that can tap into certain worlds like that, you had to come from a past. You know, you had to have something happen. I just feel like doors have to be opened in order to be able to produce stuff like that. If you look at all the tragic shit. Well, people are like, why can't I do that? I'm like, well, what did they see? You know, what did they experience to be able to do that? I don't know. That's their journey, but you can't tell by just looking at a person what they've experienced. And sometimes their stuff's hidden, and they may be just as beautiful, whatever's coming out. It's obviously he got in touch with this stuff, and he put it on show, and he wasn't afraid to. And that's the thing, having that strength to conquer that fear. And just let it out. Who gives a shit, you know? I still haven't mastered that. So, you know, it's like that's a good thing to master regardless because it's your art, you know? And he put it on show.
What about him being away at 20? How does that make you feel? Because that's very young.
It is very young. And it at least makes me happy that he had a switch that he realized, hey, man, I got to get my shit right. So despite him dying young, at least... I can at least he was going in the right direction. And I feel like in a way that saved himself because when people don't have that chance, I don't know what happens in life. I don't believe in a hell, but I feel like if you die tortured like that, I don't know if it's like you would repeat and shit in life, or if I don't know if you get lost again because you're still researching when you died. It seemed like he knew where he was going. He was following it. He was trying to make amends slowly, but it's like at fucking 20, dude, you fucking had time to do shit. Look at most people, you can ask that question, what have you done? You know, if you're 19, it's like, you're almost 20, like, what have you done? You know, like, look at anything. It's hard to accomplish shit, you know?
Yeah.
Shit, I just turned 36, you know? Like, fuck. I still look at things I haven't, I've done stuff, but it's like, I feel like I could do more. Yeah. And I want to do more. And that's what I'm trying to change. What I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to see how I can help people. Yeah. I think that's the mission. It's just... we all got to be helping each other, and I think he was kind of heading that direction. The same thing, just we all got to help each other to get through this struggle. Because everybody's struggling. Like you may not see it, but everybody this life sucks, you know.
It does.
But it's under 20 fucking years old. And what do you think of that? You're like 22. What do you think of that?
Yeah, because I'm 23, so
23.
I'm 3 years older than him.
Yeah,
but still, to think about being away at 20 is insane. Because like when I was 20, I just graduated high school 2 years ago. And yeah, you know, it's just like, what do you know at 20? Yeah. You know, like you haven't even lived life like that. No. So that's pretty insane. But I wanted to hear your perspective because you're a little bit older. Yeah. So for you, it probably hits different.
It does.
Knowing that. Because you actually live longer, you know? So you have more of a better understanding of time and how young 20 is. For me, I just passed 20, so it's still new.
It reminds me of stuff like Chester Bennington. He gave interviews, and I remember his lead singer of Linkin Park. Okay. I don't know if you listen to his music or experienced much about him.
But he
killed himself. He hung himself. Yeah. Because I know a lot of musicians struggle with like depression and shit like that. It's hard. Like I still struggle being out in public, man, and dealing with that. And like that's why I can relate to a lot of his music because I get it. I spent a lot of time being sober. I didn't start, you know, I drank a little bit, but I stopped that pretty young, you know. I learned how to deal with who I was alone. And I think a lot of people struggle with dealing with who they are alone. Mm-hmm. But learning how to deal with that, I think, is very important. I even talked to my brother. He would call me randomly. He just was walking home. I was like, well, how far? I was like, it's a long walk, but he couldn't be alone with his thoughts. He likes to have always noise, and I think always distraction. That's how people never can find themselves. But I think that's the key to grow, is learn how to be alone with yourself, and that is hard, especially if you're struggling. And sometimes you need help, and that's about the only way to get through it. And if you don't have like therapy or way to find that, or even who you have around you. Look at your patterns. That's the thing. The biggest key. You have to also learn how to be alone with yourself. That stillness, cultivate that shit. But also have who are your patterns around you, because I think that's the biggest thing, is being aware of you'll just repeat the same shit. You might not even be aware of it. And obviously, look at his patterns. Look at his violence. It just, things will repeat, and that's what scares me. Is I had a lot. I still have a lot to make amends for in my past. You know, shit, I'm still doing shit that I'm fucking up. But just as long as you keep going forward, I think he was picking up on that too. You'll seek that truth, and you just keep going forward. Always seek truth and keep going fucking forward. But also be honest. Learn how to always be honest, man. You should always be honest with who you are. You should own up to all that shit. That's the only way I know how to go forward. Lying just keeps you down. Yeah. Always, man. Lying to yourself, lying to people. That's not good for anybody. It's just to me, it's just you're cultivating the energy doing that shit. But honesty is like, that's what breaks through shit. And the world's not honest enough. Obviously, look at it. Look at the state we're in. If we're honest, we would try to fix this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like people that die so young, he could have done a lot more. For the path that he kept going, I feel like he could have made amends a lot more for shit and done a lot more. Yeah. But
I mean, he just started. Before he passed away, he started this whole challenge called the Helping Hand Challenge, where he would like go to Walmart, just buy hella toys and games and supplies.
I've seen that, yeah, where he was like dropping out to schools and shit. Yeah.
So he was, just starting out. Again, he was only 20.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, and hopefully
he popped off at 19.
Yeah, that's what's fucking great. Yeah. Obviously, it's like he didn't come out of nowhere. He's been doing this shit, and his past was a big part of it. Yeah. Again, that's why I tell people to have that creativity. That a lot has to happen to people sometimes to be able to get to that level. It's unfortunate. Yeah. It is unfortunate. Sometimes that does happen. Yeah. But it's he looked like he was trying to make amends and use that shit for good. Yeah. And hopefully he can be the catalyst for other people to see that are maybe at that level of influence. I can I feel like even shit Mr. Beast does, people like that, just if they get together, that's how you change shit. And I feel like some kids that just end up having even who he helped in those schools, that would have helped some kids that would have get information they probably never would have got. That small little fucking ripple could have changed the world. Yeah. That shit to always think about. Small little ripples like that, they can really change the world. Yeah. And I feel like he's in like that music. You listening to it when you first discovered it, did that help you? How'd you feel when you heard something like that?
When I first heard him, I heard all his aggressive stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what was out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's this dude talking about? You didn't hear, look at me? He says, can't keep my dick in my pants.
Yeah. No, I did.
I wouldn't say help me. If you want my honest opinion.
No, not just that song specifically, but just like his music, his aggressiveness, anything he's saying there. Like, did you feel any pull toward it? Like when we started really going in depth in his music and his...
A pull?
Yeah, like a pull. Did you feel like a gravity in it? Like, did you identify with it? Like, you know what, oh shit, he's like talking about something, or like this aloneness, I might relate to that, or this anger, this aggression.
Nah, I didn't relate to any of this aggressive stuff, man.
You just started liking his beats. Stuff. You just like his sass and beats. His character, sometimes he put off.
I like his music. It's not, for me, it's nothing deep. I just
nothing
like
deep. All right, just like that. Well, I look at stuff where it's different levels, but no, man, if you just even this is music, that's enough where it hopefully could just like move you in some way, man. Just even listening to the beats, that's enough to get people going. You got me interested in his stuff, so it's like that helped. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just but damn, fucking 20 years old. That's the most unfortunate thing. Yeah. But I really feel like he even said, because of his own violence, he did predict his death. He called it. It is a thing that you channel.
How did he predict his death?
Well, he said that he's gonna get shot. He even said that. He talked about him getting shot. There's like videos of him talking about that because he has his violence. Like, he's probably gonna get shot because it's like his shit karma comes back.
Yeah, I just wanted you to explain it. Oh, you're just saying things.
Oh shit!
Without
I'm
any
sorry.
Context.
Yeah. Like he was talking about how karma can come back because he lived a violent life. He's probably gonna get beat up or destroyed in some way like that, and he was going in how he might get shot.
Yeah, I think you're referring to his Instagram live where he was talking about karma, and he said, if I were to get shot, that's what comes back to me, because he said he's done a lot of bad stuff. Yeah. And he's talking about karma always comes back to you. Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
That is what I'm talking about.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, it's like, thank you. Yeah. It's, I remember little bits of that. I was like, I watched a lot of information. It's like this morning when I woke up, and yeah, it was he was an interesting dude. But it's unfortunate that he had such a struggle. But I at least he kind of was trying to turn around. I can respect that for most people. But yeah, it's unfortunate that he got in the habit of repeating patterns he witnessed. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. If you're around shit, you tend to repeat the same shit, despite especially growing up around it. I mean, shit, we come from homes that are broken, and it caused me to want to do the opposite, But some people, it's easy to repeat, to fall in that pattern, and it's unfortunate when you're seeing that. But I like that he tried to make amends, and he tried to get shit straightened out. But also, it sucked that he, I don't know. I just hate when people fucking lie. I hate lying, man.
What are you talking about now?
No, he there's a video I saw of him, and he was saying how she just got beat up and shit like that, and I don't believe it. The energy didn't feel right in it.
I don't want to touch that topic.
You don't want to touch that topic?
Nah, that's I'm not gonna. That's
that controversy right here.
Yeah. It's I never. It's hard to say who's really telling the truth. Yeah. And stuff like that. I don't want to say that a woman is lying about that.
You don't get controversy on that.
Yeah. I mean, you can say it if you want.
I'm not saying it. No, I 100% believe that he did beat up her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. No, it's just because I just grew up around abuse like that. I get it, and I just believe it. And there's different things that cause me to believe that. I feel like just his just his patterns and. It is 11:49.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna end this then.
In this podcast.
Yeah. So that's the end of this episode talking about the XXX murder. Very sad. He died very young, at only 20, which is insane. And it's kind of crazy that people would take away lives for money, because I get it was $50K. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I don't think any money is worth anyone's life, even if it's 50, 100, a million. Life is priceless, because one life can make a lot more money than that, and not even money wise, just life, you can do a lot more than that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Rest in peace to X. All the people are found guilty, so justice was served at the end of the day. But anyway, I'm Siko.
I'm Josh.
What's your Instagram?
It's at Severn Photography, SEVEREN.
There you go. All right, thanks for watching.